Why did Wang Lin turn his face with young Kazi behind him? In fact, he has always been grateful to this old man of color who helped him a lot when he comprehended his artistic conception. Even if he knew that the other party was the second ancestor of the Immortal clan, he never wanted to fight against this guy. But later in Suzaku's tomb, young Quasi not only used his midterm strength to oppress Wang Lin, but even wanted to put him to death, so that since then, Wang Lin's attitude towards this guy has undergone earth-shaking changes. So, what happened in Suzaku's tomb that caused the two of them to turn against each other? After Wang Lin killed the ancestor of the troll, he was hit by the supernatural power of the talent displayed by the opponent before his death and teleported to Yueshing. During the period when Yueshing was preparing for the second confrontation with heaven, Suzaku Xing had an earth-shattering event. The Immortal Remnant clan broke the seal that had imprisoned the land of immortal relics for tens of thousands of years and launched a worldwide war with the Suzaku Kingdom. The war was in its 7th year, and when Wang Lin returned to Suzaku's star, the Suzaku Kingdom was already retreating. In the past, the Suzaku Kingdom, which was extremely powerful and had 4 powerful men, is now the only one left to support the situation. Not long after Wang Lin and the Soul Refining sect successfully broke through the realm of infant transformation, Suzaku, who was at the end of his life, made a crazy decision. He detonated the crystal of star cultivation in an attempt to pull the entire planet to bury him. The crystal of star cultivation is the core artifact given to the level 6 cultivation country by the Cultivation Alliance. It contains the souls of all living beings born on this planet. If the soul of life is gone, the corresponding creature will fall. However, the collapse of the star-repairing crystal was not completed in an instant, but a chronic process. Once the news spread, the slightly powerful monks on the entire planet poured into Suzaku's tomb one after another. The crystal of star cultivation was stored in Suzaku's tomb. Entering it, there was a chance to withdraw his life soul, thereby saving his life, but also to prevent the complete destruction of the crystal of star cultivation. In order to regain his soul, Wang Lin also came here. During the period, he beheaded the puppet Red Butterfly and had a relationship with Lu Mei by mistake. When he went deep into Lingshan, the core area of Suzaku's tomb, he encountered a Skylark that he hadn't seen for many years. At this time, the lark no longer looked like the sloppy old man of the past, but instead, it was a kind of calmness and power of a high-ranking person. Standing next to him were Zixin and Zhou Wutai. Wang Lin had already learned that young Quasi was the identity of the second ancestor of the Immortal Remnant clan, and he still maintained the respect he deserved in the face of this senior, who had helped him comprehend his artistic conception. He bowed his hand in salute, then took out a batch of wood carvings from the storage bag, turned into a blacklight, and flew to Lark. These wood carves were exactly the promises he made when he was transformed into Immortal, when he obtained the artistic conception of a lark, and now he gave them to him personally, but it was an old fate. Young Quasi accepted the wood carving and said nothing more, turning his gaze to the huge stone gate in the center of Lingshan. This stone gate is the only entrance to the tomb of a generation of Suzaku, and it is also the place where the crystals of star cultivation are stored. However, only Suzaku in the past had the right to open this gate, and now it can only wait for the crystal of star cultivation to collapse to a certain extent before the stone gate will be destroyed on its own. While waiting, Lu Mei and Qianfeng also rushed here one after another. When Wang Lin and Lu Mei met, their expressions were calm, but they were a little embarrassed in their hearts. After all, after he had a relationship with Lu Mei, he left quietly before the other party woke up, and now they meet again only a day later. The scene is quite subtle. However, this embarrassment was quickly broken by the appearance of another person. An old man walked slowly, with a little monkey squatting on his shoulder. When the old man saw Wang Lin, he actually showed a weird smile, which made people feel cold. Wang Lin recalled his 600-year-old monastic career. With just one look or smile, there was only one person who frightened him, and that was Tawasin, the body of the ancient god 2C's demon mind. When he was only in the pill stage, he had an intersection with Tawasin in the land of ancient gods. Two Seas inheritance is divided into the inheritance of memory and the inheritance of power. Wang Lin inherited the former and possessed Two Seas' lifelong memory, including supernatural powers, formulas, star maps, and cultivation experience. Tawasin inherited the inheritance of power and possessed Two Seas' physical power and all divine power. The inheritance is divided into two, so that one of them is equivalent to possessing a formula, but has no internal power. The other is equivalent to possessing internal power, but has no formula. Tawasin has always been eager to get an inheritance. Once the two inheritances merge, he will transform from a 5-star ancient god to an 8-star ancient god. At that time, even the old monsters of the Cultivation Alliance will be difficult to suppress their edge. The red light in the eyes of the old man was very similar to the blood monk in the land of Blood Sea. Wang Lin suspected that he might be Tawasin's body. But after the old man glanced at Wang Lin gloomily, he didn't have any plans to make a move. This made Wang Lin mutter in his heart, suspecting that Tawasin should not be completely out of trouble. Otherwise, he would not use the low-level way of seizing the house to come here, let alone see himself still indifferent. From this, it is boldly speculated that the purpose of Tawasin's trip may be related to the Crystal of Star Repair. And the Crystal of Star Repair may be the key for Tawasin to completely get rid of the seal of the Blood Sea. While contemplating, Suzuka's tomb was suddenly violently turbulent, causing a large-scale collapse. The stone gate in the center of Lingshan collapsed in the vibration, and young Quasi took the lead in entering it, followed by the rest. The golden light shines inside the door, and a huge palace is suspended above the sea. Everyone was about to fly into the palace, but a big man in golden armor shot out of the palace. He was holding a long sword and swung out the light of the sword, forcing everyone to retreat 100 miles away. Skylark rushed forward again, defeated the sword of the golden armored man, and directly entered the palace. The golden armored man did not pursue, but turned his gaze to the red-haired old man and the little monkey, obviously treating the two as one. The old man suddenly released an amazing coercion, causing the sword light emitted by the golden armored man to disintegrate directly. So the old man and the little monkey also entered the palace together. Zixin and Zhou Wutai wanted to fish in troubled waters and followed them in. But they were seen through by the golden armored man and cut them off with a sword, shaking them back, but they did not hurt their lives. Wang Lin saw that this golden armored man had no intention of killing, but guarded the entrance like the gatekeeper. Only by bearing his sword power and not retreating can he be eligible to enter the hall. He knew that with his own cultivation base, he could not compete with the golden armored man. Lu Mei and Qianfeng also had this idea, so the three formed an alliance to fight against the sword released by the golden armored man. In the process, Qianfeng gave birth to a bad heart and wanted to secretly attack Wang Lin and capture 1 billion soul streamers. The plan was seen through by Wang Lin. At the moment when the dry wind approached, he directly sacrificed the fairy jade pagoda, and the winning artistic conception in the pagoda successfully blocked Jinmon. For a moment, Wang Lin seized this brief opportunity and quickly entered the interior of the palace, leaving Qianfeng and Lu Mei alone behind him, struggling to support the coercion of Jinmon. The palace was dark and mysterious, and strange lights flickered in the long passages. After reaching the end of the passage, there's a vast space in front of you. In the center stands a tall tower with a terrifying corpse wearing a dark red robe on the spire. This person is a generation of Suzuku Yiwuyo, with a cloud of purple light floating in front of him. Light. Wang Lin guessed that this might be the crystal of star cultivation that everyone dreamed of, but he did not feel the worry of life and soul in this group of light. At this moment, Lark's voice came from the passage. "Since you are here, come in." Wang Lin pondered for a moment, then stepped in after all. There was only a pale-faced Lark on the scene, who looked a little sluggish, but the gloomy old man who was playing monkey was gone. It turned out that since the moment the two of them entered here, a great war broke out because of the crystal of star cultivation. Young Quasi sealed the old man and the little monkey in the formation through ancient prohibitions and the secret techniques of the immortal remnant. But it didn't last long. It won't last long. Wang Lin looked around and did not find the place where the seal was located. Skylark said that he had reached the point where the oil was exhausted and the lamp was dry, and he wanted Wang Lin to retrieve the purple light, the so-called star repair crystal, for him. Wang Lin didn't rush to believe the other party's words. He stared at the purple light in front of the night, worry-free at the top of the tower for a long time, then suddenly turned and retreated violently, intending to stay away from this strange place. Lark reacted extremely quickly and teleported to the entrance of the passage to stop the way. Wang Lin immediately recruited 1 billion soul streamers to confront the opponent. He had discovered that the purple light was not the crystal of star cultivation, and the injury suffered by Lark was not as serious as he said. After being debunked, Lark was not angry, but was honest. The purple light was actually a star guide. Touching the star guide with your hand can regain your soul, but it takes a great price. Of course, what he didn't tell Wang Lin was that the price was life for life. In order to impress Wang Lin, he even threw out bait. As long as he helped complete the matter, he sent him to the ancient altar underground of the Immortal tribe. It was the holy place where the strongest Shuzu of the Immortal tribe broke through the 12 pages in the past, which can help Wang Lin's cultivation to another level. Wang Limula pondered, as if still hesitating. Skylark said anxiously, "Wang Lin, go up and take off the star-repairing crystal. Don't force the old man to do it. You know, the old man doesn't want to kill you." Wang Lin knew that with his strength, it was indeed difficult to fight Skylark, so he did not directly refuse. The straw hat that Skylark gave him at the beginning was very mysterious, and he still couldn't study the formation. Now that he has torn his face, it is better to ask for the specific method of manipulating the straw hat. So he used the deposit as the reason to ask young Kazi for the control of the straw hat Yujin. Skylark agreed to the other party's request. After Wang Lin took the control of Yujin, he slowly came to the purple light, only to find that he had no shadow under the purple light. And the only place where there is a shadow is Yi Wuyo's corpse. Lark asked him to put his hand on the purple light, and then called his name to help him retrieve his soul. Facing the other party's urging, Wang Lin did not do it immediately, but questioned it on the spot. If he did as he said, he would probably die on the spot. In fact, Wang Lin had always regarded young Quasi as a benefactor before this. Even if he knew that this guy was an undercover agent sent by the Immortal Remnant tribe to the human race, he still never thought about fighting him. Now the other party's approach has disappointed him quite a bit. Then Wang Lin suddenly took action, manipulating 1 billion soul streamers, releasing countless souls, and attacking the suspicious shadow under Yi Wuyo's body. With the impact of the soul, the shadow instantly cracked, and the gloomy old man and the little monkey who were sealed in the shadow broke out of the shadow. Skylark looked at Wang Lin with murderous intent. He finally trapped the old man and the little monkey in the shadow. He didn't expect to be noticed by Wang Lin, but also shattered the shadow and released the old man and the little monkey. Lark immediately cast a spell, building a defense with golden runes, and at the same time launched an attack on the old man and the little monkey. When they were fighting fiercely, Wang Lin quickly fled towards the exit of the passage. It is already known that the purple group of light is not the crystal of star cultivation, and it is meaningless to stay here. But as soon as his figure moved, the entire Suzuki tomb trembled violently again, accompanied by dense dimensional cracks. I saw Yi Wuyo's body suddenly turned into ashes, and then merged into the purple light. Immediately afterwards, a fist-sized purple spar condensed into it. Wang Lin's heart was shocked, and he sensed that his soul was in it. Obviously, this was the real crystal of star cultivation. But even so, he did not intend to participate in the competition. It was tantamount to a crazy dream to grab food in the hands of a few powerful people. Lark wanted to step forward and seize it, but under the double siege of the old man and the little monkey, he couldn't make a move at all. The old man came first, and before he could be happy after grabbing the spar, he was forcibly refined by the spar, and his body turned into fly ash on the spot, leaving only a ray of red divine consciousness penetrating into the monkey's body. Seeing the tragic end of the old man, the lark and the monkey did not dare to approach the spar easily anymore. At this moment, the spar suddenly buzzed on its own, rushing towards the lark and the monkey one after another, but in the end it chased Wang Lin tightly. Wang Lin was caught off guard by the spar filling in, causing him to accidentally obtain the Suzaku inheritance. However, he was not willing to accept this inheritance, so Spar took the initiative to leave his body and levitated in the air again. Because he was the one selected by the Spar, Wang Lin was not harmed by it, but was qualified to contact the Spar. He quickly grabbed the Spar and escaped from the palace. The big injustice species Lu Mei and Qianfeng outside the hall are still fighting fiercely with the golden armored man at this moment. The Skylarks and monkeys in the hall also followed one after another. Wang Lin had a plan in mind and threw the spar at Qianfeng and Lu Mei to lure them into a fight. In order to compete for the spar, Qianfeng sacrificed the bronze man given by Siku, but the bronze man rebelled and lost a lot of longevity. After the bronze man absorbed the vitality of the dry wind, he turned into a clone of Siku, and a war broke out with the approaching Skylark. Wang Lin summoned 1 billion soul streamers and launched a siege against Qianfeng and Lu Mei. With the blessing of 1 billion soul streamers, his combat power is comparable to the early stage of infancy. In the melee, Lu Mei looked for an opportunity to escape. Although the dry wind is difficult to parry, it is still struggling to support it. At a critical moment, he sacrificed a rusty iron sword with the blood of the ancient gods, trying to reverse the situation. The aura of this sword was amazing, and even Suzaku and Skylark, who were fighting fiercely in the distance, were alarmed. Wang Lin was about to deal with it, and the belated little monkey suddenly transformed into a red-haired Tawasan. Although Wang Lin had already seen through the identity of the other party, he couldn't help being shocked and sweating profusely when he really witnessed Tawasan's appearance. Tawasan suddenly shot and wounded Wang Lin and Qianfeng, and took away the iron sword and the drop of ancient god's blood on it. Then he turned his head to deal with Skylark and Suzu, intending to seize the crystal of star cultivation and then deprive Wang Lin of an inheritance. Qianfeng, who was seriously injured, wanted to escape, but was controlled by Wang Lin with a soul streamer, and used a life-for-life method to retrieve his soul from the crystal of star cultivation not far away. As a result, the dry wind also dissipated and completely fell. After his body was picked up by Zixin and swallowed, Zixin's cultivation base jumped from the late stage of transformation to the middle stage of infant transformation. Tawasan defeated Skylark and Suzaku with overwhelming strength, snatched the crystal of star cultivation, and prepared to kill Wang Lin. At the critical moment, Emoji, the messenger of the Cultivation Alliance, appeared in time to defeat the Tawasan Godstone and recover the Crystal of Cultivation, calming the chaos. Suzaku Z also died directly at this time because of the exhaustion of Shuyuan. So on Wang Lin's recommendation, Emoji named Zhou Wutai the 15th generation Suzaku. After leaving Suzaku's tomb, young Quasi was unable to heal from his serious injuries, and he was unable to break through the realm of Yin deficiency, and eventually died. However, in the last moment of his life, the only figure that appeared in his mind was Wang Lin. The calculations and deceit of the past are particularly pale at the end of life at this moment. His unspoken apologies eventually turned into a faint ray of divine thoughts and quietly merged into the world.